Okay, hello and welcome to workshop 5, tag 9. The main topic in this session, understanding thinking skills. This is the second time that we will talk about this topic. We have discussed a part of it before. So by the end of the session, you will have categorized thinking skills, selected questions to promote thinking skills, identified thinking skills, approaches, or rules, and the last, applied thinking skills in teaching situations. Okay, so these are the aims of our session today. So I will start with categorizes of thinking skills. So at first, we will discuss categorizes of thinking skills. Today we are gonna compare Bloom's taxonomy and how it categorized thinking skills with the national curriculum for England or the English national curriculum. Okay, so each system, as you see, has categorized thinking skills differently. Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy started with remember, and national curriculum for England starts with information processing. So Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy identifies three basic or low order thinking skills. So the low order thinking skills in Bloom's taxonomy: remembering, understanding, applying. It also identifies three high order thinking skills or higher order thinking skills, such as analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So in order to find more information about that, you should go page 94 in your ebook. So Bloom's taxonomy started with remembering skill. What the meaning of remember skill? Say what you know, remember knowledge, describe, repeat, say what you know, recognize, recalling the facts, tell who, when, which, where, and what. Okay? Understanding. The second skill is understanding. Understanding, describe in your own words. Tell how you feel, interpreting or understanding about what it means. Explain, compare, and relate. Okay, so describe in your own words, interpreting, explain, compare, relate, tell how you feel. This is the understanding skill. Then applying. How can you use the information that you had, or try to use what you know? Do you hear me? You hear me well?
Yes,
We hear you.
Okay, so try to use what you know to solve the problem. So these are low order or lower order thinking skills: remembering, understanding, and applying. Then analyzing. Analyzing means what are the parts, the order, the reason why, the causes, and the problem solutions and consequences. This is the fourth skill, analyzing, and the first one in high order thinking skill. Then evaluating. Evaluate means judge. How would you judge? How would you judge? Judge it, judge the information. Does it succeed? Why do you think of that? And the last skill, creating, being creative. Suppose, put the information together, connecting the information, and develop, improve, create your own. So these are the skills and the order of the skills in Bloom's taxonomy. Starts with remembering, then understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Okay, so this is Bloom's taxonomy, like this. So this diagram will give us more information about the Bloom's taxonomy. So remember means recognizing and recalling facts. Okay, understand what the facts mean, then applying the fact, rules, concepts, and ideas. Analyze, break down information into components, parts. Then evaluate. Evaluate means judge. Judge the value of information or ideas. And the last skill, or the top skill in Bloom's taxonomy, combining parts to make new whole, to make new thing. Okay, so this is Bloom's taxonomy and the order of the skills in it. That's the first. Then I'm gonna move to, before this, we can watch this video about Bloom's taxonomy to give us more information, more details about Bloom's taxonomy. So listen carefully.
Hello and welcome to Teachings and Education, Bloom's Taxonomy, explained for classroom educators. Now, before we begin, let's give some credit to Benjamin Bloom, who created the taxonomy. And this taxonomy was later revised by Lauren Anderson. Now, here's the question posed. Why should educators use Bloom's taxonomy?
Please mute yourself. Please, I will mute all. Mute you all. Okay.
Well, why should educators use Bloom's taxonomy? Well, Bloom's taxonomy helps educators develop critical thinking skills and higher order cognitive abilities in their students.
Okay, so why is teachers, why do the teacher use Bloom's taxonomy? So to help educators develop critical thinking and use higher order thinking skills. Okay, so that's the reason of using Bloom's taxonomy. Okay.
The best education is one where students are challenged. Next, what purpose does Bloom's taxonomy serve for educators? To provide a framework or organization for classifying lesson objectives, teachers can build their lessons through Bloom's taxonomy, for example. Now, let's specifically see how we can use Bloom's taxonomy. The first thing you want to do is consider the level of your students and the course level. A lesson for an algebra special education class will be different from an algebra advanced placement class. Aim to reach objectives for analyzing for remedial classes and evaluation for advanced placement classes. So, what are the levels of Bloom's taxonomy? The lowest level of cognitive rigor requires students to remember, apply, followed by analyze, followed by evaluate, and lastly, create, the highest level of cognitive rigor. Now, remember was first known as knowledge, but later revised. Similarly, understand was previously called comprehension. And lastly, the order of create and evaluate were switched. Bloom's taxonomy is actually a hierarchy where students must first master the lower levels before mastering the higher levels. The lower levels are relatively simple levels, while the higher levels represent more complex cognitive rigor. The higher levels are more abstract as well. When utilizing Bloom's taxonomy as educators, descriptive verbs have been made available to help educators plan lessons. Verb tables have been created to align with levels of Bloom's. Arrange, describe, order, name, memorize. Those particular verbs are used to set objectives for remember level, explain, summarize, paraphrase, infer, discuss, are all aligned with understanding. Break down, calculate, model, subdivide, infer are all aligned with analyze. Critique and judge are aligned with the evaluation level. And lastly, generate, plan, and produce are aligned to the top levels of cognition, which is create. Now, to summarize what we have learned thus far, to develop critical thinking in students, educators use Bloom's descriptive verbs to write lesson objectives, which are aligned to different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So, thank you for watching this video, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel and if you like the video as well. Thank you very much, and please subscribe.
Okay, so I'm gonna move to the national curriculum for England. I took a little more about this because this is something new, and we aren't as familiar with as Bloom's taxonomy. Here, as we can see, according to the national curriculum for England, that thinking skills actually starts with information processing. So, what is information processing? Information processing means how students understand information, okay? And how to find, how to organize, and representing. Information processing corresponds with, in the national curriculum for England, corresponding with what is the stage or what is the level in Bloom's taxonomy, corresponds with the understanding, okay? the understanding stage in the Bloom's taxonomy. So we don't say anything about remembering. Okay, now we will, after I finish the national curriculum for England, we will know that the differences between the Bloom's taxonomy and national curriculum. So let's go on in national curriculum for England, and then I will talk about the comparison or the differences between them. So the first stage, as I said, information processing. Information processing, how to find, how to organize, and how to represent. Okay, if we are moving up according to the national curriculum for England, we are gonna find reasoning. Reasoning, which is letting student or students make their own conclusion. Then inquiring. Inquire means ask, okay? Encourage students to ask questions and to be engaged in inquiring or finding out the reasons of something. Okay, so this is inquire. So the first one, information processing, okay, how to organize, how to find information. Then reasoning means make their own, the students will be able to make their own conclusion. And then inquiring means encourage students to ask questions, okay, or finding out the reason of something. Okay, so then creative thinking. And as I said in Bloom's taxonomy, the low order thinking skills in the national curriculum for England, information processing, reasoning, and inquiring. So the first three skills are the lower order thinking skills. And the other three, okay, the other three are the higher order thinking skills. Creative thinking, hypothesizing, okay, and evaluating. Hypothesizing, okay, and evaluating. Okay, so I'm gonna move to creative thinking. Okay, creative thinking means students are gonna to generate ideas, create or imagining something. Hypothesizing, like a question, what would happen if? So the students began to ask what would happen if, okay? Okay, so, and the last stage, according to the national curriculum for England, we are gonna to find out is evaluating. Evaluating where students actually developing evaluating criteria and applying these criteria or judging the value of information and ideas. So evaluate means judge the value of information and idea. So now we want to compare between Bloom's taxonomy and the English national curriculum. Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy. So when I looked here, according to the national curriculum, here in the national curriculum, there is actually a kind of deleted, as I said. Here, Bloom's taxonomy begins with remember. And this is stage you can't find here in national curriculum or English national curriculum. The national curriculum started with information processing. And this level equal understanding. So there's actually a kind of deleted or put aside the remembering stage because understanding in Bloom's taxonomy corresponds with information processing, okay, in national curriculum. So this level or this stage, remembering skills in Bloom's taxonomy, deleted, okay, in national curriculum for England. So that's the first difference between them. In these stages, as I said before, you as a teacher present information to the students and encourages them to look up information and understanding it. So we then move up to reasoning. Reasoning is corresponding with applying. So reasoning here in national curriculum corresponds with applying. Okay, so reasoning means that you are trying to make your own conclusions, like trying to find out, trying to deduce, okay, or deduce a conclusion out of information that presented to the learners. So reasoning equal applying in Bloom's taxonomy, okay? So the next stage, inquiring, and this is quite similar to applying for um, after you understanding certain information, you are trying to apply these different facts. And then inquiring, you are trying to ask or let a student to ask themselves why. This is correspond with analyzing, okay? So inquiring in the national curriculum corresponds with analyzing in Bloom's taxonomy. So we are finding here the 3 stages in English national curriculum. I'm sorry. This is one of our groups that can't find our link because she changed her number. Okay, so let's complete. Let's go on. So we are finding here that the 3 stages in the English national curriculum: creative thinking, hypothesizing, and evaluating. Okay, so this is the last 3 stages. And of course, it's clear that hypothesizing is an extra stage we can't find, or an extra stage which is not in the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so hypothesizing, like a question, what would happen if, as I said, a question which is not here in Bloom's taxonomy. So it's also clear that evaluating here, okay, we only have 10 minutes, okay? We have only 10 minutes, and then the meeting, we will go out the meeting, and then we will join again, okay? So it's also clear that evaluating here, English national curriculum, has been started as the highest thinking order skills. Evaluating here is the highest order thinking skills. Unlike Bloom's taxonomy, okay, creating a skill has been stated as the highest order thinking skills. Okay, so this is another difference, okay, between national curriculum and Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. Okay, so the summary, the differences between a national curriculum and Bloom's taxonomy. The first stage or the first level in Bloom's taxonomy, okay, we can't find here in the national curriculum. Okay, so this is a kind of deleted. Okay, we can't find this stage or the remember stage or the remember skill here. Okay, that's the first one. Information processing corresponds with understanding, reasoning comparing with apply, and inquire comparing with analyze. Okay, so, and here, these are the last 3 skills: creative thinking and hypothesizing and evaluating. Here, evaluate and create. So this is hypothesizing. This is an additional skill that you can find in national curriculum, but you can't find in Bloom's taxonomy. And the last difference, the highest order thinking skills in national curriculum is evaluating. And the highest skill in Bloom's taxonomy is create or creating. So these are the differences between national curriculum and Bloom's taxonomy. So any question in this? Any question?
Thank you.
Any
No.
question? Yeah, is it clear? Is it clear, my dears? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
I move to this activity. Okay. We will want to answer this activity. It's so easy. Okay. Which thinking skills is addressed by these questions? Please, in 1 minute. Okay. You can read the definition and match with the item here or the concept. Okay. So which skill? You can read the definition and match with the skill. Okay. So you have 1 minute. Okay. Okay, who can read the first one? Who can read the first one? It's easy. Who can read the first one?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Which thinking skill is addressed by these questions?
Yes.
Finding relevant information or organizing information, representing or communicating information.
Yes. What is the skill?
Analyzing.
Finding information, organizing information,
Understanding.
No.
Understanding.
Now here, the skills here in the right. Okay.
Information processing.
Yes, information processing. Okay, so because it's related.
Information processing.
Yes, because it's related to finding information, representing, organizing, communicating information. Okay, so that's related to find information. So this is information processing. Okay, the second one. Who can read second one? Who can read the second one?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, who is speaking?
Asma Mahmoud.
Okay, Miss Asma, yes. Read Miss Asma.
Asking questions, planning, research, or study.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you well.
Okay. Asking questions, planning, research, or study, engaging, inquiry, or process to finding out. Sorry, of finding out.
So what is the skill? Ask. What is the skill?
Creative thinking.
Ask a question.
Ask a question. Reasoning.
Inquiring. Yes. Who is
Inquiring.
speaking?
Miss Amani.
Yeah, Miss Amani.
Yeah, inquiring.
Yes, inquiring. Inquiring means ask.
That's true?
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yes. Inquiring. Yes, inquiring. That's right. Okay. The second. Okay. The second one. Okay. Who can read? Okay. Who can read? If you want to answer, please unmute yourself.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Mr.
Speaking.
Asma.
Miss Asma. Yes.
Developing evaluation criteria, applying evaluation criteria, judging the value of information and ideas, evaluating.
Yes, evaluating. That's right.
Yes.
Evaluating. Okay. Okay. The last one. Who can answer? The last one.
Giving reasons. making inferences or deductions, arguing or explaining a point of view.
Reasoning.
Reasoning.
Yes, reasoning. Excellent. Yes,
Yes.
that's reasoning, giving reasons. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's move to the difference between the lower and higher order thinking skills. So listen to the definition at first, and then listen to the definition at first, and then we will discuss more about them. So listen carefully.
Lower order thinking skills can be defined as simple and unchallenging skills, such as when you are storing factual knowledge. Higher order thinking skills involve tasks which are more difficult and challenging, such as assimilating information from multiple sources, determining its truth, and using it to make sound judgments.
Okay, again, who can give me a definition for the lower or higher order thinking skills? Do you want to listen it again?
Yes, please.
Okay, so listen carefully. Okay, we will listen,
Okay.
and the session will end. So we will join again. Okay, there is
Okay.
only 1 minute, so we will listen the definition to the definition and join again. Okay.
Lower order thinking skills can be defined as simple and unchallenging skills, such as when you are storing factual knowledge. Higher order thinking skills involve tasks which are more difficult and challenging, such as assimilating information from multiple sources, determining its truth, and using it to make sound judgments.
Okay. Okay, who can give me a definition for lower order thinking skills? Okay, so can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so low order thinking skills. Okay, please.
يا مان اخس عليك اخس عليك.
Okay, please mute yourself if you don't want to speak. Okay, and if there is any noise in your background, please mute yourself. Okay. Okay, so a lower order thinking skills can be defined as a simple and unchallenging skill, such as when you are storing factual knowledge, okay, remembering, okay, understanding, okay, applying, okay. So this is low order thinking skill, as I said. Okay, then higher order thinking skills. Higher order thinking skills, such as involves tasks which are more difficult and challenging. So there is a challenge. You push the students to think, such as assimilating, okay, assimilating information from multiple sources, determining its truth, and using it to make sound judgment. Okay, so assimilating means understanding. Okay, assimilating means understanding information from multiple sources, determining its truth. Okay, and using it to make judgment. Okay, to make good or sound judgments. Okay, so this is these are the definitions of lower order thinking skills and higher order thinking skill. Is it clear? Have you got it? Have you got it? Any problem here?
No, thank
Okay. So using questions to promote thinking skills. Remember, the teacher should help students to move from low order thinking skills, from less challenging to more challenging, and don't stop in the less challenging. Again, one way of promoting thinking skills is to think carefully about the kind of questions you use. Teachers should help the students to use a mix of high and low order thinking skills. The teacher should help students to move from the low to high, from less challenging to more challenging, and don't stop at less challenging. Okay? Okay, so using the questions to promote thinking skills. Choose LOTH means lower order thinking skills. HOTS, higher order thinking skills. Okay, so these are abbreviations for lower order thinking skills and higher order thinking skills. Okay, so the questions below, okay, in the next slides are from an English language lesson. Okay, the question is from an English language lesson and on the topic of a healthy diet. So read the questions and identify the thinking skills they address. And do they require using lower order thinking skills or higher order thinking skills? This activity will be a task in Google Classroom. Okay, you will find this task in Google Classroom and we will discuss this activity next session. Okay, if Allah will. Okay, so this is a task. Will be a task on or this task will be on Google Classroom, and I want you to answer this task on it, and then we will discuss the answers together in the next session. Okay, so this you can find in the Google Classroom. Okay, understanding thinking skills approaches. Okay, now I'm gonna move to something else, with judging about how we think about different things. How we think about different things. So here we are gonna to see different rules that people are using, rules that people are usually taking when they are engaging in any discussion. Again, here we are gonna see different rules that people are usually taking when they are engaging in any discussion. I need you first to read the definition of each rule and what rule you usually take when you are facing a problem or situation. So what is your rule when you face a problem or situation? You are positive or negative, organizer, emotional, creative. Okay, so read the definitions and tell us what rule you usually take when you are facing a problem or situation. So you have 2 minutes to read the definitions. Okay, can you tell us? Okay, let me read an example. Okay, or read one as an example. For example, are you usually a positive person when you see the or who usually see the positive side of the situation? Again, are you a positive person who usually see the positive side of the situation, or you are a negative person usually see the negative side of the situation? Are you a creative teacher, okay, or are you organizer? Are you realist or realist, okay? Are you emotional? So organizer, who can read the first one? Organizer. Okay, who can read?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, who's speaking?
Yes,
Who's speaking?
Miss Ines.
Yes, Miss Ines.
Miss Ines,
Yes, Miss Ines.
you like to, yes, you like to lead and make sure all points of view are represented.
Okay, so can you tell us about your rule when you face a problem or a situation, Miss Ines? You are organizer, realist, positive, negative, creative. What's your rule when you face a problem? Can you tell us? Miss Ines?
Maybe negative.
Negative? Why?
No.
Why?
يعني
So you can see the negative side, only negative side. You should be positive, you should be creative. Yeah, something like that. Okay, why not? Okay, so another one who can read emotional. Okay, who can read emotional? Yes, another one who can read emotional. Only read. Only read. Okay, only read, please. Who can read? What is Mrs.
Yes,
Asma?
Mister.
Yes. Who's speaking?
Yes.
Miss
Your Asma,
Yes, Mrs. Asma.
your response to any situation is an emotional one. This can be either a positive or a negative response.
So, can you tell us about your rule, Miss Asma, when you face a problem or a situation?
Realistic.
Realistic.
Try to
Okay.
be realistic.
Okay, realist. Okay, so what is the meaning of realist? So you like to find out information subject and know all the facts. Okay, I think that's a tiring rule. Okay, okay. I talked about negative and positive. So the last one, creative. Yeah, creative means whatever the situation, your approach is to suggest lots of different solutions. So you are creative. You want to find unusual solution. Okay, so this is a creative teacher. Okay. In the next over here we have some statements, and I want you to look at these statements and try to think which statement related to which rule. Okay, at first, please take a screenshot for this slide. Take a screenshot for this slide at first. Okay, have you finished? Take a screenshot for this slide, please. Okay, have you finished? No answer.
yes,
Okay, so I want to
yes.
okay. I want you to match these statements with the rule. Okay, I want you to look at these statements and try to think which statement relate to the rule or which rule. Okay, you have 2 minutes. I think it's an easy activity, so you have 2 minutes.
حاجة مستحيلة ممكن دي نيجاتيف مش تبقى نيجاتيف that's what to did last time as it and didn't get greater than the negative group work on great she's goal مش عارفة for group خمسة
Okay, have you finished? Okay, who can read? Who can read and answer the first one? Who can read and answer
Okay,
the first one? Yes, who is speaking?
let's check. Miss Marwa.
Okay, Miss Marwa.
Let's check Wikipedia to find some information. Maybe realist.
Yes, realist or realist. Yes, that's right. The second one, thank you, Miss Marwa. The second one. Okay.
My first reaction is to run as far as
Speaking, please. Who is speaking?
possible. دي يعني I think negative. منى حنيش. منى
Okay.
حنيش.
Yes, Miss Mona. Yes. Again, Miss Mona.
My first reaction is to run as far as في أذان بس جنب ف as far away as possible. دي negative.
Negative.
هو ده سلبي خالص الصراحة يعني هو.
What about emotional?
Emotional. Yeah, emotional.
Emotional.
يعني هو اوكي يبقى اللي بعدها اللي بس هو كده سلبي ان هو يعني
the third one. The third one. So what about the third one? We can do that.
The third one هي هتبقى
So
we can
the
do
first,
that.
yeah, the first reaction we can't do that. That's what we did last time. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. So what is it? What rule is this? It's a negative. So it was a disaster. He was so negative. He was so pessimistic. Yes? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, number 4. Who can answer number 4?
Group work would be a great way to achieve that goal. Be creative.
Creative?
غلط رخرة.
Is there another answer?
Organizer. ما organizer ده organizer. Organizer.
Organizer?
No.
Organizer وcreative وpositive مع positive خدناه.
Number 4 is positive, Miss Mona. I think Miss Mona is speaking. Yes. Group work would be a great way to achieve that goal. Of course, this is positive. What if you try recording the lesson in a new way? What if we try recording the lesson in new way?
Creative.
Yes.
Creative.
Yeah, that's a creative.
Creative.
Yeah, that's a creative. Okay, because to make something new. He want to make something new. Okay, and the last one, okay, I think we need to review what we have achieved so far. So we have achieved something and he wanted to review the steps. So he wanted to organize everything. So he's an organizer.
Organizer.
Yeah,
Cannot.
okay.
Yeah.
So as you see, these are the answers, okay? So organizers may suggest that they lead. I'm sorry, I will mute you all. Okay, so may suggest that they lead a meeting to discuss how to teach a large groups. Realists may ask for details about how a large groups are and how they learn best. And negative may say that teaching, if we have a problem such as the topic about large groups, so every teacher has a rule. Someone may be organizer, another one may be realist. So the topic is about larger group. So if a teacher is an organizer, so he will suggest that we should lead a meeting. We should make a meeting or lead a meeting to discuss how to teach large groups. Okay. طيب, if he is a realist, may ask for details. Realist, okay, ask about details, about a lot of information, how large groups are and how they learn it best. Okay, so if someone is negative, may say that teaching large group is impossible and no one really learns. Okay, so this is a negative side. And positive may say that teaching large groups is fun and exciting. Okay, this is a positive one or optimistic. And emotional may suggest that teaching large groups is tiring, okay, and they miss the interaction of smaller groups. So this is emotional, okay, this is related to emotions. And the creative one may suggest lots of creative ideas for large group activities. Okay, is it clear? Have you got it?
Mr. Please,
Yeah.
Mr. يعني this means that we can use all of them. This means that we can use all of them except negative.
Oh, okay, we can use any one of them.
According to the
He
situation.
he talks about our rules when we try to face a problem. Someone may be realist, someone may be emotional, someone may be negative, another one may be positive, another one may be a creative. I think the best one is to be positive, creative. Okay, okay. So organizer, why not? Okay, you can mix all of them. Why not? Okay. He talks about the others, the rules of the others when they face a problem. So when I ask someone of you, she said, I am a negative. Okay. Another one maybe said, I'm a creative. Okay. So he talks about our vision for the problem, our thinking about the problem. So how to face the problem. Okay, so this differentiate from one to another.
Okay.
Okay, I think the best one to be creative. Okay, why not to be positive, creative, organizers? Okay, negative and emotional. I think it's a bad thing or a bad side. Okay, or bad rules. I think. Okay, so let's move to understanding thinking skills application. Okay, we will listen at first to these teachers. We have 6 different teachers, okay, and having, of course, 6 different rules. Okay, so these are different teachers, okay, and every teacher has a rule. Okay, so we will listen and match every teacher with these rules. Okay, so
Muhammad.
I'm sorry, I will mute you all. Okay, so we have 6 teachers, A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, and 6 rules, 6 different rules. We want to listen carefully to every teacher and know what's the rule, okay, that's related to every teacher. Okay, so these teachers are talking about discussing teaching large classrooms, which a lot of us suffer from and have. Okay, as you know, all of our classes have a large number of students. Okay, so these are the rules of different teachers, how they face this problem. One of them is organizer, another one is positive, another one is realist, and so on. So listen carefully and then match these teachers with these rules. Okay, so the first one. Okay, please write down your answers in a piece of paper. Okay, write down your answer in a piece of paper, please. Okay, okay, so the first one.
Teaching large groups is okay, but you have to make sure everyone knows what they're doing and when to do it. You just need to plan really carefully. I make very detailed lesson plans.
Again.
Teaching large groups is okay, but you have to make sure everyone knows what they're doing and when to do it. You just need to plan really carefully. I make very detailed lesson plans.
Okay, the second one.
Everyone knows that teaching large groups is impossible and nobody really learns anything.
Again.
Everyone knows that teaching large groups is impossible and nobody really learns anything.
The third one.
I find teaching large classes quite exciting, to be honest. It can be much more fun than working with normal groups.
Again.
I find teaching large classes quite exciting, to be honest. It can be much more fun than working with normal groups.
I think I'd like to clarify exactly what we mean by large classes. How many learners is it? 30? 40? 50?
I find teaching large classes so tiring. I much prefer teaching smaller groups.
Again.
I find teaching large classes so tiring. I much prefer teaching smaller groups.
The last one.
With a large group, you can do a much wider range of speaking activities, like pyramid discussions, mingles, class surveys. None of these really work as well with smaller groups. With a large group, you can do a much wider range of speaking activities, like pyramid discussions, mingles, class surveys. None of these really work as well with smaller groups.
Teaching large groups is okay.
Everyone knows that.
Okay, so the first one. So what is the rule of the first one? Number A. Who can answer? Who can answer?
Realistic.
Realistic or organizer?
Organizer.
The first one is organizer.
Organizer.
Yes, organizer. Okay, the second one.
Negative.
Yes, that's so clear. Negative. Yes.
Negative.
Okay. The third one.
Emotional.
Emotional. No.
Emotional, mister.
No, miss.
No.
No.
Realistic.
Realistic.
Or positive.
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 Okay. Number letter D. Letter D is a realistic. Okay. Letter D is realistic. Okay. Number E, or letter E, is
Creative.
No,
what
F
about the last
creative.
one? The last one is a
Creative,
creative.
Mr.
Yeah, the last one is a
Creative.
creative. Okay, letter E is emotional. Okay.
Emotional?
Yes. Letter E is emotional, and letter F is
The last one is creative.
yes, is creative. So the first one is organizer. The second one, the last one is creative. Number C is positive. Number B is negative. Okay, letter D is realist, and emotional letter E. Okay, so these are the answers of this activity. Okay, the last slide with us today. This is also an application. Okay, about understanding thinking skills. So this task, you will find it on Google Classroom. Okay, so what about this task? Okay, this is a paper in one of new curriculum. Okay, okay, so here he want you to tell us which thinking skills do learners practice in these exercises. How can you help learners to practice more thinking skills when teaching this lesson? Okay, so these are the two questions about this paper. So you can answer this task in Google Classroom, and we will discuss it next session, inshallah. Okay, so this is the last slide with us today. Thank you so much about this great session and about your awesome participation. Okay, I'm so happy to be with you today, and see you next session, inshallah.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.